safe, they feel covered. And that is the role of a man, especially in today's society. However, we have some challenges because of the push and the pressures and pressure of life. Not many people, not many men who are able to live with their families, with their children. And of course, there are some effects when that doesn't happen. Of course, we talk about family and fatherhood for a man. We are talking about leading your own home, with a vision and values. At the end of the day, the person to direct your home is not the male, the female gender. It's you as a man. So you must lead your home with a vision and some values. You are the CEO of your home, not for authority, but for direction. Sometimes there are decisions to be made, where to invest, which school the kids should go to. You discuss with your spouse. Why? Because you are the CEO of your home. And when the vision is clear, and when a man's vision is set, what happens? The home becomes more clear. There is clarity in your home. Very, very important. When a man is at home, you provide what I call the emotional strength within the family. Men actually build safe spaces in their homes. You build safe spaces. And the real strength is not because of the energy, not because of the power of your hands. No, 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 no. The strength is the calmness that you provide in your home. The steady atmosphere. The children, your spouse can depend on you in terms of advice. And I think that's very important for a man. And of course, as a man, you create what I call the legacy family. You create legacy. You build up confidence. That is what I call a legacy. You build up confidence, especially to your children. You build up confidence. You provide security for your spouse. They know, hey, the man of the house is here. However, we have some challenges, especially in parts of this country. We have some challenges because the role of men has been taken over by a female gender. Why? Because we have some men that how they spend their evening after work is just drinking. And some have drunk and they have become, addicted. So you go home drunk, so you can't offer leadership. You can't offer any kind of direction. No values to be learned from by your children. And we have a real challenge, especially where I come from, Central Kenya. The role of men has been overrun by our ladies. Why? Men are never there. They are out there either drinking, they're not working, they are drinking. And it's a real challenge. And of course, you are aware that there's some challenges of many families being single parents. Why? Because the man has refused to take proper responsibility. Maybe it's challenge to all of us that maybe we are not doing proper mentoring. We are not mentoring boys well. Maybe you're not mentored well. Maybe you were brought up by single mothers like myself. I was brought up by a single mother. So when I got married, to be honest, the first 5 years, I did not know my role as a husband, as a man. Why? I used to see my mother do everything, pay the fares to towns, pay school fees, do everything. So when I got married, I thought my wife is going to do everything. Until one time I said, hey, wait a minute. Let me attend these classes on how to be a real man by Pastor Bovi. And that one changed my mindset completely. And maybe these are the things that we need to learn from each other. I think somebody said, how can we learn from each other? Yes, we can. And I think this forum is very good. Another area I can discuss, number 2, is our finances and wealth creation. Finances and wealth creation. As a man, you are the provider. And one of the resources of provision is money, is finances, is wealth creation, is thinking about the future. You have a young family. What is going to happen in the next 10 years? What is going to happen in the next 20 years, 30 years? What is going to happen when the kids are gone and you are alone? Of course, you have seen a lot of old men left in the house. Their spouses have gone to abroad to stay with their children, and you are left there. Have you ever thought, Bernard Obande, have you ever thought yourself being 90? Have you ever thought, Anthony Karaoke, have you ever thought, now you are young, at age 80, itakuwaje, how will you look like? Will you have resources, money to buy medicine, to buy food? That's something that we must think as men. And it's unfortunate that many men are dying young, 55 years, 60 years, 70 wanaenda. And if you look at our communities, the elderly women are many than men. Why? Because tunastuka. When you are 60, ndio unastuka. 60 years. Hey, wait a minute. I have no savings. I have no way to survive. You know, and of course, many times children, they say to their mothers, so you are left there. Kama mzee, mgongo inauma, uko na arthritis, uko mgonjwa. And I will be able to share with you some of the things we can do. And one of the things we can do is to be a master of money. To be a master of money, Anthony Mwangi Karaoke, you know, Anthony Mwangi, to be a master of money is, it calls for discipline. It calls for investment. It calls for multiplying your income. And there's no income that is small income. Even if you're earning 20,000, there's a formula. As young as you are, I can see some of the people here are very young, like Bonnie here, Bonnie Waidaka, young people. Regardless of the amount of money you are getting, you must learn the strategy, the trick of savings. Even if you are saving 1,000 shillings a month, it will make a whole difference in the next 60 years, the next 70 years. And it's a formula I always use, 70, 10, 10, 10. Those, of course, those who are Christian like me, we start with the investing in God's kingdom, 10% tithe, 10% your savings, 10% you sort out your insurance, then you have 70% to sort out your rent and other issues. But I want to emphasize on 10% savings. And after you save, don't just save, you save and invest. You accumulate and keep investing, because at the end of the day, this investment, those plots you buy cheaply today, another 10, 20 years, they are the ones that are going to sell when you're 70 and you make a lot of money. You know, I saw some statistics somewhere that people who invested 1 million the year 2007 within the suburb of Nairobi, those properties now, they are worth 30 million. That is what we are talking about. So you invest long term. You get a discipline of the money you are earning today. You get a discipline of saying, hey, I'm going to invest. Something else I also advise men to do, including myself, is insurance, because men are risky beings. You know, you are driving, you have a car, you are going to the village, something can happen, or you expose yourself to risks. Do you have an insurance? Do you have a personal cover, a personal accident cover? I don't know how many people here are doing insurance. Maybe you can just text there. You know, and these PA, personal accident, they are cheaper. You can pick it up. You can be a safety for your family, or maybe if you are disabled, you can be compensated. You know, you can look at what is happening in the city of Nairobi right now. The city, we are about 5.2, 5.3 million people. They are saying in the next 5 years we're going to be about 7 million. 2050 we are 10.2 million. Do you have a property within the city of Nairobi? As a man, uko na kitu yako, unasema, hey, wait a minute. When I grow old, I can put something here and leave, because nowadays people don't go to the village. In your village, people don't know you. Benjamin, your village, people don't know you. Bonnie, people don't know you. So you settle within the Nairobi suburbs. Do you have something? Do you have something for emergency? In fact, nowadays, on my WhatsApp, every day we are contributing. Every day. I can see just here, Moses. I have insurance in Jubilee. I like that, you know. Every day, people are asking for money. Do you have something that can take you for 6 to 7 to 8 months if you lose your job? Do you have an emergency fund somewhere? And by the way, these are little money that you keep every month, every week, those who are in business, and you can have an emergency somewhere. Are you thinking of having some rental income? I love rental income, because rental income, with a country like Kenya, whose population is increasing, there's no way that you're going to, live without a tenant and live without some money that is coming every single month. And that's the fact that many people are very good in investing in rental income. However, even as you invest as a man, you must know how to manage debt. Madeni, yeah, madeni. Is it Mshwari? Is it all these apps that people are borrowing? You know, the people I mentor, and the people that I mingle with, most of the time I get to asking me, George, tell me, how can I run out of debt? I have so many apps. Now wananipigia simu, I can't breathe. They're asking for money. And I want to urge all these men in this forum, you can be able to learn the skills of managing debts. Only borrow when this money can multiply, not to borrow to consume. Borrow wisely, keep saving, keep investing. That's the role of a man. Multiply your streams of income, very, very, these are things that you must do. And of course, as a man, you're also thinking about generational wealth. You have the children. What is going to happen? Do you have something that can live for them? And that's why, if you're looking for generational wealth, that's why we talk about land buying. We talk about upgrading your skills. You go back to school so that you become a better person, you become more knowledgeable, maybe you do business that outlives you, that's what we're talking about. And of course, we're talking about protection. We talked about emergency, the insurance, the retirement plans, very, very important, especially for a man. And of course, we must discuss something that I encounter with my friends. They call it the money mistakes. The money mistakes men make, we always make mistakes on money, including myself, by the way. Money mistakes men make. And how to avoid some of those mistakes. One of the mistakes that we do as men is what I call spending on lifestyle, spending on image, show off, validation. Hapo ndio tuko jameni. People want to show that they have money. They want to show that they can buy a better car. They want to show their suits are the best lifestyle, and they want to show off that they can be able to drink alcohol day in, day out, Monday, Tuesday, all the way to Sunday. They want to show status. Men, we must avoid this, because at the end of the day, you need to live for your goals. You need to live for your purpose. Don't live for public. Don't live because of public perception, public approval. And I think that is what is eating most of us men. Remember, wealth is quiet. Show off is very loud. People with something, they are very quiet. People with nothing, they are the loudest. You look at their social media, they are all over social media flashing. Don't compare yourself with the people who are on social media. Maybe they could be suffering mentally, And then another mistake men we do, I am saying we because I'm a man, is we operate without budget. No budget, no plan. Yeah. No budget, no plan. Yeah, huna budget. Yeah, the salary is coming end of the month, but you don't budget for it. And if you have no budget, people will budget for you. But times will call you. You'll be getting calls left, right, and center. I want this, I want this, I want this. By the end of the day, all the money you earn, maybe yours is only maybe 10%. And I'm sure I'm talking to someone, because the demand for money, especially those who are working, those who are in business, is very high. But so if you don't have a budget, people will budget for you. If you don't have a plan, people will plan for you. And I don't know how many people here who do budget for their money. Maybe if you do budget for your money, you can just type there and say, hey, me, I'm very good in budgeting. Just type for me to see if you guys, you are leaving this kind of advice. Yeah, I can see Disho here on the front of my screen. I can see Oliver. Who else can I see here? Paul Nabiswa, I see you. I can see Patrick Irongo, my good friend. Wow, Kube, you are here. I can see Oscar. Man, we are here, man, to sharpen one another. I can see Sean. I can see Stevie. I can see Martin. I can see Kibet. I can see Egon. The guys are here. The guys are here. No budget, no plan. Another mistake that we do. Wow, Mushiri Mushoki, I see you. Okay, I see you. Another big mistake that we do as men is borrowing for lifestyle instead of assets. Yeah, we borrow for lifestyle. Thank you, D. Mushemi. Asante sana. I do budget for my money. I love that. Okay. We borrow money for lifestyle. I can see Charles. Okay, thank you, Charles. I can see, one of the mistakes we do is borrowing for lifestyle instead of assets. You can borrow and buy assets, because those assets, they can multiply and give you money. Another big mistake we do as men in this forum is savings without investing. Yani wewe unaweka tu pesa everywhere. You don't invest. The secret is, the formula is, you save. Once you accumulate, invest. Save in a circle, after a while, invest it. And definitely another biggest mistake we do is ignoring insurance and emergency funds. We just ignore insurance. You find you have no insurance at all. You have children, but they have no medical cover. There's no medical insurance, no medical cover. You have children. You have no insurance for a school when they grow up. You know, no savings, and it's a big mistake. And I think as we get older, if you don't have these small savings, either through policies, it's going to be very, very, very challenging, especially for us men. Of course, another big mistake we do is not discussing money with your spouse. You don't want to discuss your money with your spouse. Please, you can now change. You can discuss your money. There are some men, their spouses don't know how much the money they earn. They don't know. They have no idea. It's important because you can lower expectations. They may think because you go to work every morning in a good suit, maybe they think you are earning millions, thousands, hundreds of thousands. No, no, no. It's good to discuss your resources. And of course, another mistake that we do is a short-term thinking. Yeah, hey, where do I get the money? You go for betting. You borrow from friends. You know, you borrow short-term loans. It is called short-term thinking. We must be very careful. I can see Enos, yes, I budget for my money. I think that's very encouraging. Allow me to discuss something else before I go to my point number 3 on what I call the provider's mindset as a man, the provider's mindset, you know, as a family member, as the head of the family, you must have what I call the provider's mindset, okay? Because you are the pole, you are the pillar of your family in terms of finances. You are the pillar. But for you to be the pillar of your family finances or provider, it's very, very important. The family must look at you. They look at Bernard. They look at Anton Kariuki, and they know when Anthony is here, we are safe. You know, you provide financial security. You provide financial security. They want to go to school. They know, hey, when Daddy is here, I must go to school, okay? And for you to have this mindset, provider's mindset, you must do 2 or 3 things. One of the things you must do is you must spend what you have with purpose. Don't just spend. Spend with purpose, with a reason, okay? Avoid that reckless spending. Because when money is in the pocket, there's someone who told me, hey, me, when I get my salary, I get peace the second week when I have no money. No, 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 no. Get peace even when you have money. Invest in the future. Yeah. The provider's mindset. Invest for the future. In the future. Invest for tomorrow. Once you do that, you protect your family. You protect them. And you can also do that by wise investing. Maybe later on I'll be able to talk to you about wise investing. Allow me to share with you my third thought in this forum of men. The personal growth and identity as a man. The personal growth and identity as a man. Okay. The personal growth and identity as a man. One of the things that I love, especially when I mingle with my fellow men, one of the things that I learn, you know, is that every man wants growth. Every man wants an identity. And maybe that's why when we marry, we ask our spouses to change their names. They are called so-and-so Obade, so-and-so Karaoke, so-and-so Ambani, you know, so-and-so Mwangi. Why? Identity. Men love identity, okay? But as you work around the personal growth and identity, there are things that we must be careful about, you know, for you to achieve this, to be a real man, you know, to be valued, to be a high-valued man and not a confused one. It calls for discipline. As a man, it calls for discipline. And the discipline means that every day God has given you 24 hours. You need to wake up very early in the morning, do your stuff, do your devotion. You know, number 2, as a man, you need to control your emotions. You know, I have handled some men that get the fuse get disconnected very quickly. They get annoyed very quickly. So you must control your emotions. For you to have this personal growth and proper identity, the emotions must be controlled. And woe unto you if you can't control your emotions, because you'll be making some mistakes and then you regret later. I think one time I saw a story, you know, somebody who killed another. This guy, when he went to court, he said, I think my fuse was off. I got so annoyed, took a panga and killed someone. And the guy was jailed for 17 years. Can you imagine? If you cannot control your emotions, you can do some crazy mistake and ruin your life. You must control yourself. And of course, this is done by training your mind, training your mind to cool down. When you're so annoyed as a man, take a sip of water. Breathe in and out 10 times. So don't react. I don't know how many of you, when you are driving and you overtake someone, or someone overtakes you and tells you, think twice. So if you're the kind of a person who have got short fuse, you also accelerate, useme hata yangu iko na mafuta, you overtake the guy and also say, and if you're not very careful, there could be a fight. Actually, I saw a story. There were two ladies who were doing some shopping. And by mistake, the lady was opening the car door and it knocked the neighboring car. And the lady was in the car. She was so annoyed. She came out and opened a door and she knocked the other car. The other lady was so annoyed, and now put more force to knock the other car. And they were knocking each other until the end of it. They were actually driving and reversing and knocking each other. At the end of the day, the two cars were a wreck. And even them, they were risking their lives. And most of the times, we are like that. Our mind is not trained to handle stress, to handle pressure, to handle annoyance. And I want to urge the men in the house, we are 46 of us, we can keep training our minds on how to handle stresses. Because if you don't handle stresses very well, we'll see what we saw in Kisumu. We saw somebody who committed suicide. Why? Because there were some financial challenges. Yeah, talk to someone, talk to someone. Don't kill yourself as a man. And how do you do that? You surround yourself with other strong men. Men, you're not very good in doing associations. We are not very good. We are very poor. Yeah. Women, our spouses, they have groups. They have groups. They meet on Sundays, they talk, they take tea. For men, they either discuss politics, or if not politics, is football. If not football, I don't know what else they discuss. Maybe you can tell me what you discuss. So, and sometimes our friendship are superficial. It's a superficial friendship. And let me ask you, do you have 5 friends? You can say, hey, give me 10,000. And they'll give you money without asking. Not many, not even 5. But we are asking ourselves, we are telling ourselves this evening, let's surround ourselves with other strong men, okay? Align yourself with the mentors. Get a mentor, somebody you can talk to when things are tough. When things are not working, you can call Anthony. Na umwambie, hey, Anthony, mambo sio mzuri. Hey, Nagilai, things are not okay. Do you have somebody you call a mentor? Or do you mentor others? Do you mentor others so that it can also be mentored? And definitely, most of the time, what I've seen in this city of Nairobi, why men go off, and then destabilizes their personal growth is negative influencers. Yeah. And these are the people to avoid. Avoid negative influencers. And these negative influencers, they are all over. They're on TikTok, they are on social media, they are on Facebook, they are on Zoom, and they are many negative influencers. People who discourages you. The other day, I saw a very serious, senior negative influencer telling people, don't invest in plots. And I happened to meet this guy and asked him, by the way, do you buy plots? And told me he has so many plots. Now he's no longer investing in plots. In fact, told me he has hundreds of them. Yet, he's going out there influencing people, say, don't get anything in Nairobi. When you get older, go back to the village. Can you imagine? Negative influencers. Some are very influential. For you to be able to develop this, what I call personal growth and identity, other than getting people to influence you in the right manner, also learn, learn, keep learning, read books, okay? Learn from others, just learn. Get those people who can influence you in a positive manner. But if you don't do this, when we are older, 60, 70, 80 years, we shall all be crying alone and lonely. In fact, many men are usually very lonely. Very many men are very lonely, okay? But we need a direction. We need a purpose. We need clarity. But how do we get that purpose? Two things that we can do as men. We must get proper direction, okay? Direction of building confidence within ourselves, confidence within our teams, within our friends, walking with clarity, you know, making the right decisions, okay? Because many men, including myself, we make a lot of wrong decisions and we lose. And when we lose, sometimes we withdraw. We don't talk to people. You are just silent. But we are saying we can get a new direction. And this new direction, if it is the right direction, it will protect us, protect our ego, protect our energy. We are not wasted. You know, we don't say, I've wasted years, I've wasted my money, I've wasted a relationship. No, 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 no. Get the right direction. And even in the wrong direction right now, you can still correct it. You know, the other day, one of my mentees was telling me, hey, George, man, I regret why I got married. I am under stress. I'm under pressure. I am suffering mentally. And I was talking to him and telling him, you can change the situation. How would you change it? The way you behave, the way you talk, the way you phrase your wordings with your spouse. You can change it. You know, there's a book I read, you know, what every man must know about women. You know, you must know all those things. And the guy said, what do I do? And we had a sharing. And 2 weeks later, say, hey, George, I think I've seen some change in my family. And now the story is different. They are now together, investing together, doing stuff together. Why? You need what I call mental fitness. Mentally to be strong. You may be very strong physically, but mentally, men are weak. You need mental fitness. How do you handle stress? How can you become a resilient person, a resilient man? How do you do it? And one of the things I share when I share with the people that are approaching me is that sometimes men looks very strong, but mentally they are suffering. But one of the things we can do as a man, every time you're under pressure, you don't know what to do, and you want to overreact, sometimes just pause. Just pause before you react. Count 1 to 5 before you react. Just pause. Always think before you speak. Sometimes you want to speak some things, but pause and think before you speak. Even in your own family, you feel like saying something, but pause, think before you say it. Process decisions before you activate them. Just process. And once you do that, you manage your stress levels. You manage your stress levels. Someone told me that men don't die because of stress. They die because of keeping silent. When you are so stressed, do you have a confidant you share with? And maybe that's an assignment we need to talk to each other. Do you have a confidant? And by the way, you can tell me on the platform if you have a confidant. When things are not working out, do you have somebody you can talk to other than your pastor? Do you have somebody? Just type for me. Do you have someone you can talk to? Yani when things are not working out, mambo haisongi, do you have a confidant? Somebody you can share and somebody who can help you? Just type there. I'll read the first three. Do you have a confidant you depend on? Ambani says, I have a confidant. I like that. Thank you, Abani. Yes, that's very important for a man. Very, very important. You must have somebody you disclose. Waweru Jr., yes, Martin, I have. Enos, I have. I like this. I love this. Moshiri, I do have. Yes, you must have somebody you can talk to. Brian, yes, I have somebody. Tom Kibet, yes, I do have someone I can talk to. Very, very important as a man. You want to be sober, you must have somebody you can talk to. George Mago, yes, I have someone. Josephat, I have someone. I love this group. Yes, I know that this is, I do. I can't read the name for that one. DM Wangi, I do. Bogo Wainaina, I have someone. I love this. This is how to thrive. This is how to succeed. Charles says, yes, I have someone. When things are not working out, do you have someone you can go to and discuss? Moses Gitao, I do have someone. This is very, very important. Someone other than your pastor, other than your priest, you must have someone, maybe one or two people you can talk to. You know why? When you keep silent, man, you are going to die. Silence kills men. You must have someone you can talk to, someone you can share your struggles as early as possible. Someone you seek solutions. Unamuuliza nitafanya nini? Nitadu? What should I do? This is very, very important to manage your stress. Yeah. to manage things when things are not working out. Ruben Langat says, yes, I have someone. George Mago. But I also listen to stories of the people who do not have, okay, something there Mago is saying. Let me see whether I can read it. Let me see what Mago is saying. Let me see. George Mago says, but I also listen to stories of people who have been in the same situation before and how they manage the situation. I think I love that. Yes, you have to listen to people who have been in that situation because nothing new in the world. So there's somebody who experienced, there's someone who was there before. You know, when I did my first book, you know, Sol and Canigo, and people are reading it and they loved it. They say, hey, George, thank you for writing this book because I have picked something. When I did the other book called After the Pledge, someone told me, wow, thank you for writing this book. And I saw people coming to the office disclosing that they have also lost a lot of money. You know, after I disclosed that I lost $2 million, they also disclosed. So please sometimes share your stories. Don't Bernard Obada says, yes, I have someone. Okay, my best man. I think I love that. So even for you, because there are people looking at you as a mentor, you know, also encourage them to share so that we save the man, we save the boy child, you know. That's the way to go. Sometimes some of you write books, write blogs, you know, on your pages. Sometimes don't just read politics, write stories to encourage people, you know, do something to inspire someone. You know, one of the things I do nowadays is to, you know, to discuss topical issues that can help our people. Short stories on TikTok, on my Facebook. Why? We must inspire one another. That is what God expects us to do. Why? We don't want to see people die because of pressure, because of stress. And finally, number 4, we can pick something on leadership for men. Leadership for men. Leadership, I'm looking at leadership at home. Alex Yego, are you a leader in your home, in your house? Leadership at workplace, leadership in the community. That's what I'm looking for. Are you a leader in your home? Maybe leading a home doesn't mean that you go there with your title. You know, me, I'm Anthony Mwangi. I work with Optiven. I'm a big man. No, 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 no. We are talking about setting tone, not just rules. Don't set rules in your house. You know, one time I visited a friend of mine in the US, and right on the door, there were 10 rules of the house. These are the 10 rules of this house. And I was reading those rules, and I felt so uncomfortable. I said, hey, hapa ni kwa dictator. Yani kwa mlango, there are rules. That's not leadership. I'm not talking about setting rules for your family. Apana. I'm talking about Alex or Alvin or Abani or Anthony being a good leader for your family, setting a tone, not just rules, bringing peace in your family, not pressure, bringing peace. You know, say there's a man, when a man is tired, anakuwa kama like a bee, he can sting everyone. You know, he want to fight everyone. No, 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 no. That's not the way to do it. The best way to do it is bringing peace in your family. Remember, when your family is peaceful, you are also peaceful. Don't put a lot of pressure. Those with the children, please don't tell them you must be number 1. Apana, well, umekuwa number 1. Bring an A. No, 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 no. Don't put pressure to your children. Tell them whatever you bring, I'll accept it. Don't put pressure. Sometimes I am very free with young people. And sometimes some disclose that my dad is he's pressurizing me. I'm under pressure. I feel like I'm going to fall down. No, 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 no. Be a man of peace. When you take your children to school, and by the way, encourage fathers to be taking their children to school, talk to them. Talk to your sons, to your daughters. No, don't say, hey, be a good guy. I want you to be disciplined. Apana. No, 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 no. Rephrase it, and they will do it. Protect the home atmosphere. Don't create bad atmosphere in your house. When you arrive from work, please, usipeleke zile mapresha za kazi nyumbani. Apana. Say, good evening to everyone. Just tell them, hey, good evening. How has been the going? Ask them, ask questions, probe questions. Create an atmosphere in your house. Don't create a bad atmosphere. Create a positive atmosphere. That's good leadership as a man, especially to your family, in your home. Lead by example. Lead by example. The way you speak, the way you behaved, the discipline, the values. Lead by example, okay? Make decisions that is participatory. Don't be a dictator. The home decisions, participatory. When you go for shopping, carry your spouse for shopping. When you go to buy clothes for your children, don't just buy and drop them. No. Carry them. Let them do some selections. Make those decisions of what they wear when they are there. That way, man, you become a darling of your children. Regardless of how busy you are at workplace, please, every employer have got 21 days leave. Take leave. When you take leave, take full leave. Yani ufanye kazi. Take your children out. And allow also me to challenge you that now we are heading to Christmas. Some of the men here, ngoja niangalie who is here. Some of the men here, Christmas is the time to go to the village. And I can tell you for sure, your spouse doesn't like it. Where Christmas yako ni kwenda Gishagi. Yet we have beautiful hotels, restaurants, resorts at the coastal region. We have the SGR. You can pay in advance. Take your family for 3 days holiday. With 100,000, you can take a holiday to Mombasa. And maybe that's why even Optiven now to discover. We have Vipingo. We are selling people Vipingo. Why? When they are holiday times, they go there and relax. When they're not there, it's Airbnb. Why? We want families to relax. Remember, you don't have 2 lives. You have 1 life. You have 1 family. At least 1 a year. Wapeleke mahali. You know, hata ikiwa Naivasha, Mombasa, somewhere. Not just going to Kerisho, going to Nyeri, going to Narok, going to Samburu. Where Christmas yako ni Nyeri, ni Gishagi. Hey, you are going to bore your family. Make those wise decisions. Leadership, take them somewhere. Okay, that's leadership. Leadership at work. Yeah, thank you, Nagirai, for sharing Vipingo. Yeah, we are preparing ground for you guys to go and relax. You know, the stresses of Nairobi, unazitoa pale. Shaza amesema unaenda Homa Bay. Wewe, ya Christmas ni kwenda Homa Bay. Ngoja nikuchekelee. Being a leader at workplace. A strong man is the one who is a leader at workplace. Are you reliable at your workplace? Are you reliable? Can people depend on you at workplace? Do you work with excellence? When you're not there at workplace, do people notice that you are not there? Okay. So if your absence is not noted, then you're not very important. People need to know, hey, Mushiri is not here today. Can you imagine? Yeah, that's leadership at workplace. Leadership, you know, within the community spaces. To be a leader in the community, are you serving? We are now heading to Christmas. Do you have a small budget for shows in your village? Or a foundation like Optiven Foundation, you can donate. Community, do you mentor somebody within the community? Do you mentor? Okay. Do you mentor for someone within your estate, maybe your school? That's service to the community. For us at Optiven, we offer 5% of our money to communities, supporting them. And then finally, I can see I have less than 7 minutes, is a man and relationship. How do we manage our relationships? Okay. How do we manage as a man relationships? How do we build this relationship? How do men build healthy, lovely, respectful relationship? How do we do it? Allow me to read a few comments before I go to the final lap. Okay. This is Tom Kibet says, thank you. What property would you advise a family man to start with if I am just started a new job? Yeah. I think one of the things that people do and how you can do, don't wait for those properties that are too expensive. Unagoja millions, you know, you're waiting for a property in Vipingo, you know, property in Nanyuki, property in Nakuru. No, start small. And I'll give you my own example. My first property in 1999 was 70,000. That property, there were no roads, there were zebras. That property is Syokimau, behind Gateway Mall. Today, that property many years later is now 8 million. And it is an 8, can you imagine? You can start small. And I'm happy that where I work at Optiven, we have a very interesting property. We are calling it mentorship property, that if you want to practice how to invest in properties, you practice with that one. We are selling it at 159,000. Redswell, near Wero Technical, not too far from Malindi, about 39 minutes from Malindi City. And you're telling people, buy it, 159,000, buy it, keep it there. Just buy it, keep it there. 10 years, 20 years, going to be millions. Very interesting property. You know, it's a one-star property. But because you came here for this session, I can give you an offer. So if you book within 7 days and pay cash, I can pay for you 20,000. You only pay 139,000. I can also provide an air ticket for you to go and have a look at it once you pay for it. An air ticket, rush to Malindi, tour Malindi, and then you can be able to enjoy the other side of Kenya, beautiful spaces that Kenyans are investing. That's how you can start. And of course, if you have money, we have other properties. We are in Nakuru, we are in Nanyuki, we are in Vipingo, and you can check us on our website. I'm sure Nagirai will share the website. But for that one where you start because of Tom Kibet, I can give you that offer. I can pay for you that 20,000. And then you never know. You can start small and keep building. You can start small and keep building. Let me see whether it's another comment here before I go to my last presentation. Let me see. Thank you, Kibet. Sasa you can start there, 159,000. Lakini ukilipa na 7 days, ninakuchapa 20K na unapata ticket ya ndege. Sio leli, ticket ya ndege. Okay. Bernard Obande says, saving for January fees. Okay. Ati yeye haendi mahali. wewe nani? Bernard Obande. Take your family to GMC Kitengela. The swimming pool, warm swimming pool, ground there. Let them have fun and you be there. And don't carry your phone. Be with them. You know, say good things. Tell them good things about who they are. You never know. God will give you money to go to Singapore. Will give you money to go to Mombasa. Will give you more money. That's my declaration for you, Obande. That's my declaration. Okay, I don't see any other comment there. Allow me 3-4 minutes, time is up, on a man building relationship. Okay, a man building relationship. How do you build healthy, respectful relationship? How do you do it? Especially in our families. There's a man who told me, my wife must respect me. I said, no. Respect is earned. The way you treat her is the way you be treated. Your children, the way you treat them, if you roll like a lion by the way the time they are grown up, they won't respect you. Respect is earned. You earn it by controlling your anger, the way you treat them, the way you listen to them. You must listen to your children. You must listen to your spouse. You must learn the act of listening. And there are things that I tell people I mentor, these are must-dos for the family. It's a must-do as a man. You must compliment your family, your children, your spouse. Compliment. Keep complimenting. Don't get tired. When your spouse is so smart, tell them, hey, man, hey, babe, you are very smart. The children, they go to school, where they are smart, tell them. When they do well in class, tell them, hey, your handwriting is improving. You are better. Celebrate them. Birthdays, hey, men, are you in the house? Especially men forget even their own birthdays. Who unto you, Anthony? You know, if you forget a birthday of your spouse, your wife, if you forget that, they don't forgive you. Please, Adika Mahali, Anthony, the birthday for your wife, write it somewhere so that there is a reminder. There is a reminder. And I'm a culprit. You know, when I was young, very young, I never used to remember birthdays, even for the children. So please, don't forget that. Show affection. Yeah, just show affection for your spouse. Celebrate their wins. Just celebrate them. Spend quality time with them. Enda pale GMC na wao. Go there. GMC Karen, GMC Kitengela. Just go there with them. Just be there. You know, there's a friend of mine who is a very senior lawyer. Very senior lawyer. You know, this friend of mine, every Sunday, I see him at our GMC waterfront. One time I asked him, hey, wakili, yani naona unasupport sana. Akasema hapana, I'm not supporting you. My daughter loves GMC. Why? There's free virtual reality. Then I said, because I come here every Sunday, we have developed a bond with my daughter. They love each other. And especially when children are young, love them. Have time for them. These properties you're selling at 159, now at 139. Buy them. Tell them, you have land in Kenya, you have something in Kenya. As a father, they will never, ever forget you. Never. The other day we went for a graduation with Joe, and this father had a surprise for the daughter. The daughter was finishing USIU. Akamnunulia kakitu, akampea kataito. I've never seen a Gen Z jump like that. The Gen Z lady was just jumping. Yani, I own a piece of Kenya. That is what we are talking about as men. Surprise them. Pius Kimweri. That's what we mean. I know you are busy, but don't be too busy for your family. Clear that time. You'll be relevant. Then communicate. Keep communicating. Don't assume. And there are some mistakes we do as men. Let's now talk as men. There are some mistakes that we do as men. Some of these mistakes is when our spouses are not happy, you keep quiet. Please never keep quiet. Never. Keep quiet. Number 2, never use harsh words. Don't call your spouse bully. Don't call them stupid. No. It's not you. It's not a man. Don't use harsh tone. Never. You are injuring yourself. Instead of using harsh tone, use proper words. I know sometimes you get annoyed. No, don't get annoyed. Because at the end of the day, when spouses are not agreeing, they both suffer. Don't be defensive. Ukifanya makosa, umechelewa. Umeenda kuona Anthony ukachelewa. Na your spouse amekasirika. Just apologize. Especially men they're not very good in apologizing. Just apologize. I'm sorry. Or send a text. Sorry, I'm coming late. Don't be defensive. I'm from Optiven buying land at Malindi. You'll be told, hiyo shamba ni ya nani? Don't be defensive. Be flexible. Don't talk about, don't keep quiet. Some men don't talk about money. The spouse mentions money, you mute. Talk about it. If it is there, if it is enough, if it is not enough, talk about money, talk about investments. Start now planning together. Do stuff together. Sometimes at Optiven, I'm happy when I see couples come and they're owning properties together. Because at the end of the day, when you do things together, the family bond is better, is stronger, and that's something you can be able to do it. But as I conclude, I'm told, Nagre tells me my time is up. There are things that you must understand about your spouse, your lady. There are things you must understand. There are things you must understand that women connect through emotions. You can invest too much, but if you don't invest emotionally, you are investing for yourself. That's why when you come to Optiven to see properties, come with your spouse. Women connect through emotions. They know you value them. Women check the safety. They say, hey, am I safe with Kimweri here? Am I safe? Is our future safe? Are the children okay? That's what they consider. Women want presence more. Yeah. Not just provision. They want presence. Uko. Yeah. Are you there on Sundays, on Saturdays? Are you there? This Christmas, unaenda wapi? They want presence. They want you to be there. Not there when you are always on phone, on TikTok. Apana, I mean you are there. One of the things I do, sometimes we go for tea with my spouse and we say, no carrying phones. We are going for tea without phones. These are the things that you enjoy quality time with your spouse. Women communicate for the sake of bonding, okay? She wants empathy, understanding, and connection. Yeah, they want connection. That's the kind of communication. And when they communicate, don't cut them. Don't finish sentences for them. Let them talk. Let them finish their sentences. Wewe skiza story. Just be nodding. Just nod, yes. Skiza. Some stories are obvious. Keep listening to obvious stories. That's women for you. And then finally, women read your silence. They read it. Women, your spouse read what you don't say. When you are stressed, they can tell. Yeah, their attitude, they can tell you're not okay. Your silence, their body language, they read it, and they are very good in reading. Okay? Women need reassurance. I love you. I value you. You are important to me. And women want partnerships, not control. Men who control their women, who dictate to their women, they don't succeed. They need partnership. And once you do this partnership, I can tell you, you will thrive. So allow me to put a comma. I am getting a warning that I'm 4 minutes past, and thank the organizers for these discussions, because men are endangered species. We are in trouble as men. Lazima tujipange, tutafute associations is stable. When a man is happy, the family is happy. When a man is excited, the entire nation is excited. And thank you so much for attending. The 51 of you, may God bless your families. May God bless your careers. May God bless your businesses. May you keep thriving. When things are not working out, let's reach out to each other, because we have a life to live. Hii maisha lazima tuishi vizuri. And once in a while, reward yourself. Go for that holiday. Save for late, pole too. You keep saving for late. Because at the end of the day, gentlemen, money will never be enough. Even if you're earning a lot of money today, money will never be enough. Let's go out there. Let's relax. Let's not kill ourselves. Let's be stable. Let's keep the focus. And even as we dream, let's not compete. Compete with yourself and do what you can. Remember, if God gives you 97 years like Moody Awori, you can do a lot. May God bless you. Allow me to take this mic back to Nagilai.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much, Daktari. Those were indeed nuggets that enrich, and you've enriched a lot of men here. We have two questions. Question number one is from Oscar Ndua Rugira from Burundi. Oscar Ndua Rugira from Burundi. He says, how do you budget when money is not enough, even to cover a month? Let me repeat. How do you budget when money is not enough, even to cover a month?
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Oscar, from Burundi. What I would ask or tell Oscar is that there is no little or there's no much money. As long as you have something in the pocket, you have money. My first salary when I was young was 3,000 shillings. 3,000 Kenya shillings. Elfu tatu ya Kenya. And I was budgeting for this money. My house was a very small house in Pangani. I was paying 500. It was a sublet, 500. Food, I could not afford meat. So what I was budgeting is ugali and sukuma. Ugali, sukuma. When the money is not sufficient, I skip the meal. I just skip. I skip the breakfast. I knew at the workplace, there's a hot water and coffee. My salary was 3,000. My transport from Pangani to town, I was not budgeting for transport. I was walking. Wake up early in the morning, walk all the way to development house where I was working. That was 3,000. I was budgeting for it. So please, even if it's not sufficient money, budget for it. And if you are unable to budget faith. You say, hey, this month, I am trusting God for double my income. So if you are doing maybe the work of, maybe you are a barber, for example, you say, I'm going to talk to my customers. Instead of shaving 5 people, I want to shave 20 people. That's what I'm talking about. If you're running a salon, for example, or beauty, you say, I'm going to improve on my customer service to increase my money so that I'm able to extend my budget. But regardless of what you have, please budget. Maybe, Oscar, the house you are living in, maybe it's all your money. Move. For me, I moved from Isli. My house was 2,000 in Isli. I went to Pangani to sublet at 500. So move. It is called humble beginnings. Living in a single house today doesn't mean tomorrow you're going to hire 2-bedroom or to get 3-bedroom. So it's a matter of checking the level you are in, and then you keep moving, and then you keep moving. That's my word for Oscar. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Daktari. We have another question from Charles Wamashamba. He says, What do you do if she is the one who is quiet? Okay.
Okay, Charles asking, the spouse is the one who is quiet. You know why our ladies keep quiet? Kuna kitu tumefanya, all of us men. There's something we have done. Find out what is it. Maybe you promised to take her for coffee, haukumpeleka. You promised her a dress, you did not buy. You promised to celebrate her birthday, you forgot her birthday. You promised to pay school fees for the child, you did not. You promised to be dropping your child to school, you don't do it. If you find them, they are silent. Sisi kuna kitu tumefanya. Take her for coffee. You know, there's something I call eye to eye. Take her for coffee, discuss, be open. There's something I call Vegas. What happens in Vegas remains in Vegas. Go and open up. Are there things I've done that are not good? Are there things that you're not happy about? Just open up. And if you do this bi-weekly or once a week or twice, once in 2 weeks, I can tell you that silence will disappear, because hiyo kunyamaza kuna kitu Charles umefanya. Maybe kuna mahali ulifanya mambo. So na atakwambia if you open up, but not in the bedroom. Take her for coffee at GMC and then you talk. Thank you, Charles.
Awesome, awesome. So Charles, now you know you have a place to go. GMC is there, either in Karen or in Kitengela. Thank you so much, Daktari. I can see most of the men are appreciating that you've given a lot of good nuggets. Maybe one last question from Moshiri. I can see. Let me see if it's a question. He says that I will be home late. Should I have explanations?
The best thing, if you are arriving home late, always call. Hey, hi, darling. I'm getting late. My boss decided to add me some work. I'm sorry. I'll be arriving 2 hours late or 3 hours late. Please call and inform. If not calling, you can text. But calling is better because it's your spouse. You know, that calling makes a whole difference. A whole difference. However, most of us men, we are too busy. The whole day uko na simu hapo, haujaambia your spouse I miss you. Hata mpatie tu love hearts, umtumie tu, you know, hapo tu love hearts. Myself and my wife, we work next to each other. Once in a while, 3 times a day, I must send love hearts. Hiyo love hearts. Some of us, our fingers are very rigid. Yani hutumi, na unanitumia, unaniambia, mentor, how are you? Na the real mentor in your house, you have not sent even flowers. Sio za kununua, zile za WhatsApp, unazitafuta mahali flowers ziko unatuma. Asante.
So Moshiri, umesikia? Kumbuka kutumia the word darling. Yes. Peace Nabiswa, this is the last question. Last question. Peace Nabiswa says, is the offer only for Tibet or for any man interested in the mentorship property?
Okay, thank you, Nabiswa. The offer for these wonderful men, there are how many? There are 50. The offer is to all of you who are in this house that this property, beautiful property in Wero Technical, red soil, is 1 star at 159. If you're in this forum, I'm slashing for you 20,000, and I'm giving you air ticket to go to. Once you pay it, of course, once you pay it, you go have a look at it and step on it. The titles, I'm also going to pay for you. They're going to be out in 180 days. So I pay for you the title, 20,000 air ticket. If you're in this forum, wale wakukuja hawako hapa. So 139,000 if you pay in cash. So you can get in touch with the Nagilai in the house. You can share your number. And yes, we can be able kupanga wewe vizuri. Uanze na kakitu. And I'll be so happy to give you a title. And we shall remember this Zoom to say, hey, Bona see you, remember the offer you gave. The title is here. And yes, and of course, if you are looking for elsewhere, we are in Kimuka. You can buy somewhere to do your own home, Mr. Kimweri. Kimuka is right on tarmac. We are now doing the solar, we are doing the power, the roads are done. And you have a tree planting on 22nd? 22nd. You can come to Kimuka. We can connect there. Kuja panda muti. We are planting about 1,000 trees in that Achievers Paradise 1B in Kimuka. Later on, we do go to Mulanga. We have a project there called Success Gardens. We are selling at 6 million. We are also going 6.5 actually for quarter an acre. We are also going to plant trees there. If you want to retire with me in Vipingo, you can also speak to Nagilai. We can retire in Vipingo. Vipingo one, you can pay in 6 months, 3 months, up to 1 year. And the price starts from 1.95, and we pay for you the closing cost, the title. And they also give you a ticket to go and have a look for Vipingo. So thank you very much. And thank you once again. God bless you. May you thrive. Back to Naglai.
Fantastic, fantastic. Gentlemen, we must conclude now. Thank you, Daktari. Thank you, Paul Nabiso, for your question. And I can see you've already acknowledged that he has responded very well. So I really appreciate each and every one of you for first registering and also joining this time and also asking questions as well as commenting. We really appreciate you. God bless you. I can see one question. Is it a question? Daktari, can I add one question? Then the last one. Ya mwisho kabisa.
Go ahead, Naglai.
Fantastic, fantastic. His name is Isaac Otieno. He says, what if she's just quiet, but you did nothing wrong? And he says, she just wants you babysit her, to baby her. What should I do?
Thank you. Thank you, Isaac Otieno. I'm sure that when Isaac was tuning this lady, when they were dating, I am sure when Isaac was dating the lady, he was babysitting, using good words, when can I see you? I can't sleep without you. I must, all those sweet words. And I'm sure Isaac Otieno, those words have now disappeared. I give you a secret, Isaac. Just go and buy real flowers, deliver to her with a card. Say, I value you. I am telling you, she'll open up. She will treat you like a king. Men, we do very small mistakes. That's why these women keep quiet. Very small mistakes. And if we can learn how to avoid these small mistakes, we can have very beautiful life with our spouses. So yes, small things. Sometimes even serve her with coffee. Yeah, enda jikoni, mpikie coffee, kahawa, chai, mpikie. Yeah, small things. Mletee banana. Hot water. Enda hapo jikoni, mletee hot water. Say, daddy, hii tumaji ni yako naona uko na queue. Small things, not big things. For us men, we think of big things. Atunanulia ndege. Ataikataa hiyo ndege. They don't want planes. They want those small nonsense things. Ukitoka kwa duka, Isaac Otieno, mbebe chocolate ni 3 bob or 5 bob, mpelekee. Mentos, mpelekee tu, kaswiti tu. I just thought about you. I went back to a supermarket, bought for you this thing. Simple things, man. I am telling you, I practiced it for the last 26 years. It has worked for me. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you, Daktari. Those are really, really nuggets. So wanaume, usinunue ndege kwanza, inaweza kataliwa. Be very careful. And right about now, I just want to appreciate each and every man and tell each and every one of you here, today was Men's International Day, and happy Men's International Day. God bless you and God favor you as you go out there and become the head of your family. Be blessed. And right about now, we adjourn till the next, maybe Men International Day or any other time that we meet. We meet with the men in Optiven, we meet with the men in other places. God bless you. Ukuje tuende Malindi. Asante sana and thank you.